X-rays. The Crookes tube that was used to study cathode rays and resulted in the discovery of the electron was also instrumental in the discovery of X-rays. William Röntgen was experimenting with various configurations of the vacuum tube in order to study the properties of the cathode rays. He shielded the tube with black cardboard so no light or cathode rays would emerge, energized the tube, and turned off the lights to check the effectiveness of the shield. He noticed that several meters away, a screen coated with barium platinocyanide planned for use later in the experiment was glowing. Röntgen knew that the glow could not be caused by the cathode rays, so he theorized that some other kind of ray was passing through the shielding and causing the screen to glow. Because it was unknown, he coined the term X-rays. Very rapidly, he tested other objects to determine the penetration power of these X-rays. This is another example in science where a great discovery was made by accident. You can search on the web for other discoveries made like this. At that time, people had no idea that excessive exposure to X-rays was dangerous, so many demonstrations occurred which would not be allowed today. Only 2 weeks after their discovery, Röntgen took an X-ray photograph of the hand of his wife, Anna Bertha Ludwig, by placing a photographic plate behind her hand and directing X-rays at her hand. The developed plate would appear white where the X-rays penetrated and dark where the X-rays hadn't penetrated. Denser objects, such as Anna's finger bones and her very prominent wedding band, stop X-rays, resulting in a shadow on the photographic plate. Less dense objects, such as skin, allow X-rays to pass through, illuminating the plate. Physicians could now see bone damage without having to operate on a patient. People who fell and hurt their leg could have an X-ray to see if the leg was broken. There is a problem, though. X-rays have a great deal of energy and can knock out electrons from atoms, ionizing them, and then therefore can disrupt molecular bonds. If X-rays are used on a box to see what's inside of it, that's not a problem. But X-raying a person runs the risk of damaging tissue and causing radiation sickness. That's why dentists are very careful to shield their patient's body with a lead drape to minimize the exposure. X-ray usage is very carefully controlled to minimize its side effects. Further experimentation showed that the intensity of the X-rays increased with denser target plates. It was also discovered that the rays were not affected by electric or magnetic fields, as were the cathode rays. What does this say about the charge on the X-rays? If the paths of the X-rays were not affected by magnetic and electric fields, then the charge on them must be neutral. Later research showed that X-rays were not charged particles, but another kind of electromagnetic radiation with higher energy than visible light.